All right, let's use Elliott wave theory to try to see if we can figure out how close is the NASDAQ to topping. That's really the million-dollar question. Now, we're going to assume that we already understand where we've been. This is coming up, it's had this correction. It bottomed here, and then clearly it is moving up again. So this looks impulsive, and I'm just going to show you my process. I'm actually just going to run through what I do every day when I'm looking at whatever instrument, with the exception of I'm not going to take you back and show you the longer time frames, what I've already looked at here. But that's to keep this video fairly short. I'm just going to show you my process for actually putting the fibs on the chart and looking at Elliott wave and trying to determine where this wave may terminate. So now, if you don't know anything about Elliott wave, this is going to go over your head probably, but if you know at least something about Elliott wave, this is going to make a lot of sense. So first thing I'm just doing is visually looking at this, and I'm going to put some labels on it, what it may be, but then we're going to go back and measure for those things. Now, I'm going to make a lot of assumptions about what you know, because I'm not trying to make this like a total straight up tutorial type video, but I'm just sharing with you my process. So as far as degrees go, I'm not really sure what degree I would make this. Just to keep it simple, I'm going to use the minute degree here. And then because Elliott wave understands that, well, the universe is a fractal. How's that? Fibonacci plus fractal can give you a lot of good insight about price waves. So in this case, fractal, what we mean is self-similar at scale in Elliott wave terms. So if this is a 5-wave move in Elliott wave, the other 2 impulsive waves, three really, wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5, will also be constructed of 5-wave moves. In other words, you see this is a potential 5-wave move. So inside of wave 5 could be another 5-wave move. Inside of wave 3 could be another 5-wave move. Inside of wave 1 could be another 5-wave move. That's the definition of fractal, self-similar at scale. So, but not only are we just going to trust our eyeballs to think this is a 5, because if this is a 5-wave move and I don't measure anything, and okay, there's a 5-wave move, boom. So this looks like it could be topping, but that's not exacting enough. So we're going to use measurements, and we're going to use Fibonacci projections to come up. Now, a 5-wave move, an Elliott wave, a standard projection would be the 200 fib, but that's just a standard. That's a guideline. So it can exceed that. It could come up short. There's a bunch of different variations, but just to keep it uber simple, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to keep it moving. So, and I'm not going to bother getting these fibs like exactly where they should be. But let's see. The first thing I notice is, okay, where this wave 4 pulled back is holding above the 100 fib, although it did extend a bit, because normally a standard would be for the 1618 to be the top of wave 3. In this case, it possibly extended a bit, and this does also look like a nice 3-wave move for wave 4, which is also an Elliott wave standard, is a 3-wave correction. So let me just throw on A, B, C. I like to keep my colors a little bit separated just for clarity and to avoid confusion. Now, because my fibs are white for this entire move that I'm measuring, so I'm going to go ahead and actually have the labels match the color of the fibs just to keep it simple. All right, so I want to measure for this wave 4, because a wave 4 could terminate anywhere from 236 to 382 to 382 to 50%. If you get much past 50% for a wave 4, it's very likely not a wave 4 and it's something else. So just a super quick, and I'm not lining up these numbers exactly for this in the spirit of time. I've got a bunch of templates saved because, as you know, time is money. So over time, I've got a lot of templates saved. So here's the 236382, but you can see that that actually looks like it went to the 50% level, which is perfectly fine for a wave 4. Let's see. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so that's like a legit wave 4 potential, terminated where you would think based on two different ways of looking at it. And the wave 3 did extend almost to the 200 fib. All right, so far this looks like a very nice 3-wave move up extension with a wave 4 pullback, and nothing wrong with this. So this thing is really extended 2618. Let's measure the internal structure of this 5th wave using, just like as we measured for this entire 5-wave structure using these white fibs. I'm going to measure I'm using the same tool. It's the same concept. You find the low and you're looking for the 1, 2 of that internal move. And I can see already that that is kind of extended a bit too. Let's see. Yeah, so that's, yeah. So, this is an additional way to measure, to collect clues about where might this thing be topping. And I'm going to use a different color just to avoid confusion. All right, so now 1, 2, I would count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in a 5th, and it's already extended. I'm not really going to label this because it's just going to make the chart too. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, I guess I could label it. Why not? All right, let's just label it. So again, it's fractal. So inside of this 5th wave should be another 5-wave move. We've already measured for that. Here's the way I would see it. And then it's going to be a lesser degree. And I'm going to want to make it a different color just to avoid confusion. Now I could keep going and measure like inside of this structure, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make myself crazy. But although I would do that if I were actively looking for scalps right now on this chart, I would keep drilling down into the lower time frames. But I think I have enough information on here just for clues for the overall purposes. So the last thing I like to do is look for there's a bunch of ratios in Elliott wave that are very powerful in combination with these other fibs. So just to keep it quick and dirty, I'm going to just run a very simple ratio measurement for waves 1 through 3 versus 5. And again, I'm not making these very exacting in the spirit of time. Wow, that's really interesting, isn't it? Look at that. So this is the ratio box for where you could expect a wave 5 to terminate. And what's interesting is price is literally banging into the top of that box. So this thing is extended. This thing is extended. And okay, so what? So does that mean I'm going to short it? No. But what this does tell you is that you can be looking for whatever your idea of a short setup is. You could be looking for that. Of course, we were looking for that here. We were looking for that here. Well, you got it. If you're a scalper, you got plenty of short action, even in the middle of this crazy historic bull move. There's always short opportunities. There's opportunities in each direction. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. I'm just going to move this text over to the left. Yeah. So basically, from anywhere up here, you can be looking for a short. Now, the last thing I'm going to do, and when I say looking for a short, I mean looking for a short setup and then only taking it if per your definition of a short setup and per your definition of risk, you take the trade. So what I've learned from my buddy Armando in Miami is a different set of fibs for scalping. And it's nothing crazy. It's just a beautiful, another way to look at fibs. So the way I would do it is look at this as a swing low and then put the fib there as a swing high. Oh, wait, I already screwed it up. Got the wrong fib tool, right? So this swing low, this is somewhat of a swing high, and then I've got a template saved for Armando. And all I'm doing 917 is I'm just looking for an area to see where price could get rejected from. So it already made it through, it poked above, and look at that. It already poked above there. So the next area up, if this thing wants to extend, I'll be watching to see what kind of price reaction, if any, that it has up into this area above. Yeah, another way to do it, if I put it there, and make this a swing low of sorts and this a swing high, you've got a little more confluence up here with that 2618. So there's a bunch of different ways to skin this cat. And you could argue, because again, just like anything, these are not actual exact points. They're more like zones. And price, initially has been rejected off of that zone. So, there's nothing really conclusive on here. This is overlapping up here at these all-time highs. I think one could look at this as the last throes of the bull. Just, whipsaw. It's on shaky legs, but we don't need to worry about that. We want to see a downtrend, a micro nano 5-wave move down, and a corrective action to get short. But these are the levels I'd be watching at the open: 19,979, 20,050. Let's see what happens. Is it going to extend overnight? At some point, this thing is going to give a major correction. Anyway, that's what I got. So good luck to you. Be careful. See ya.